Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Sweet as Can Be. Now, this is the second review that I am uploading today. Earlier this morning, I did post my review of Bunnies and Flowers, which is one of the other 3-wick candles that will be offered in the Easter collection launch that will be happening next week. So there are a total of three wick candles, and now on my channel I have had a chance to review all 3 of them. This is the last one of the 3 wicks that I did want to post a review of. So if these are going to be available March 20th, how do I have my hands on them already? Full disclosure, you guys, these candles were sent to me in PR from Kringle Candle. I am a brand ambassador with them. But for those of you who have been with me any length of time, you guys know that I'm always here to share with you my honest thoughts. Some candles I love, some not so much. Some have performance issues, some do great. And you guys know I'll always keep it real with you guys. So the other thing I did want to notice, or I did want to talk about, is that I probably mentioned this on a couple of other videos, but I am batch filming today. And the day that I am filming this video, we actually have we're supposed to have a storm come in this evening. And so it's beautiful weather outside right now, but the wind is starting to pick up. So if you happen to see the flames dancing around a little bit, that is why I am actually filming this review on my back porch. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this review. So like I said, this is one of their 3-wick painted jars. This little pattern is actually painted onto the vessel. It's not like a shrink wrap around. Super, super cute. I like that they have done this. I feel like these are types of vessels that I could hand wash and keep for decor, for some Easter decor for years to come. The Mercury vessels are really beautiful, but these ones are also very cute. I could see myself like repurposing this vessel to use for like jelly beans or anything like that in the years to come. This candle is, I believe, 14.5 ounces of 100% white soy wax, typical with the Kringle formula. This is like pretty much what we would describe as a non-toxic candle. They don't have phthalates and paraffin and what are all the other things that we're worried about. All the things that a lot of people are worried about being in their candles, this is free of. So we have top notes here of lemon and pastry, mid notes of butter and lemon, and base notes of vanilla and sugar. Now, the pour date of this specific candle is January 30th, 2025. So if you caught my first sniffs video that I did about a week ago now, where I was sharing with you what was going to be in the Easter collection, you may have taken note that I said that to my nose, this candle is the same as lemon sugar marshmallow. This is just the 3-wick format. I am happy to say, or I'm a little bit relieved to say, that fellow ambassadors who have gotten their hands on this have agreed with me. They have said, yes, that's exactly what's going on. This is lemon sugar marshmallow repackaged into a 3-wick format, which personally, you guys, you all know how much I loved the lemon sugar marshmallow scent in 2024. I do have a backup of that already in my collection, and spoiler alert, I will order another one this year as well. However, I do know that there's a lot of people who really like the 3-wick format. I am one of them. And I do want to just say that there are a little bit of, I don't want to say nuanced differences, but things that you might want to be aware of with this fragrance in the 3-wick format. So my nose, let's first off describe this fragrance. So this fragrance to me smells very much like the lemon fragrance. If you are familiar with Country Candles Cosmic Cupcakes, it was part of the 2023 spring and summer lineup. It was in a purple vessel. There was a lemon note in there, and it is very, very sweet, sugary lemon. It almost reminds me of the lemon that you would get, like the very tart sugared lemon that you would get in, say, like a lemon bar, but you're missing that like sulfury component sometimes that's in there, or maybe more of like a super, super buttery pastry note. I guess for me, like, yeah, there's a sulfury note that sometimes comes out in lemon bars that kind of turns me off. That's kind of in like the curd, I guess you would say, of a lemon bar. But to me, what my nose first detects is that super sweet lemon. However, it is very well balanced out by like a buttery pastry note. So it's almost like a lemon bar, like you're getting the lemon, You don't get the sulfur from the curd, but then you also get the buttery goodness of the crust of a lemon bar. I guess that's the way that I could describe it. It says top notes lemon pastry, mid notes butter lemon. So there's some density to this. I would say this is very different than like a say if you're familiar with Homeworks' limoncello cupcake or Bath and Body Works lemon pound cake. It's very different than some of the other lemon gourmands that I have tried. But I will tell you guys that this is actually probably my number one lemon gourmand fragrance that I have ever come across. It's not as light and fluffy as a cake or a cupcake. There is some density to it like a lemon bar, but like I said, it's missing that like sulfury component, which for me personally, I could always leave out of an authentic lemon bar. I really, really love this fragrance. It blends well with so many other candles in my collection because I am somebody that, particularly this time of year, moving into like early summer, I love to pair a lemon gourmand with my florals, with a lot of my other fruity fragrances like a strawberry or a blueberry. It's just such a wonderful companion to a lot of other fragrances in my family. And so I am glad that Kringle has offered this in 2 different formats. So let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle, because this is where I'm going to tell you, this is where we're going to kind of like intertwine what I was talking about, what might be a little bit of like a nuanced difference between the 2-wick format and the 3-wick. So the 3-wick here, you can see right now it's performing very well. I've got a nice solid wax pool here. This candle has been lit for about an hour and a half. So beautiful, clean, burning wax. I'm going to go ahead and lift it up so you can see right there. The wicks are performing well. I would caution you with this particular fragrance. I do think, my suspicion is that they do use a little bit different wick on maybe it's either the 3-wicks or this fragrance in particular, because this is one that if you happen to trim the wicks too short, it will struggle to pull out for you. So I have had a couple of you guys comment that your lemon sugar marshmallow from 2024 in the 2-wick format had some performance issues. It had a difficult time pulling out. Now, my suspicion, this is just my own theory on that candle, was that I bought that candle when it was released in the like in the first go around, and then it sold out. And then they brought back another batch, and then that one sold out. So the first go around was when I bought my original lemon sugar marshmallows. I did not have any performance issues at all with that candle. Then when it was re-released a couple of weeks later, when they poured more, I did buy a backup. I have not yet burned it. That is the one that is currently in my backup stash. However, I did have one of the little 2-wick. They had like a little painted jar. It had like a little duck on it. I think it was called like Easter Chicks or something like that. And that vessel did have some performance issues for me. I did have some issues with it pulling out. So my theory on that is that last year in 2024, you guys remember they were doing some wick experimentation at the end of 2023 going into 2024. And a lot of us were dealing with puny wicks midway through. I just have a sneaking suspicion that that second pour, I'm not sure if they were anticipating those Easter candles to do as well as they did last year, that I don't know if they were just like being resourceful and using the wicks that they had left over before they decided to change over the wicks. I don't know, you guys, but my suspicion is that the wick issues from 2024 were in the past. However, I do think that they sometimes might be using a different wick for these 3-wicks, because I do notice the 3-wick fragrances do burn a little bit hotter. Obviously, you have an extra wick there. And so I think where I am been teasing or kind of going with a nuance with this fragrance is that this is a type of fragrance blend that I feel like if it gets too hot, the fragrance starts to change and it's not as enjoyable. So what I mean by that is I think another example of a Kringle candle that I've experienced this with in the past has been the Bananas Foster candle from 2024. I initially had that candle in a 3-wick, and in the 3-wick, I loved it for about 2 hours. But once you got past the 2-hour mark, it started to smell a little bit scorched because it was burning so hot with the 3-wicks. This is just my personal opinion, you guys. There's no science behind this, but this is just my personal opinion. With the 2-wick, I find that I can leave it burning a little bit longer and I don't develop that scorched note. I will say with this scent, you're also going to run into that issue, because I do notice that this fragrance, after I've been burning it for about 2.5 hours, I don't enjoy it as much in the 3-wick, because there's something that it does start. It's not that it smells scorched, but I think what ends up happening is that like kind of the buttery, heavy pastry note starts to dominate the lemon. And I personally love the lemon in this scent with that buttery pastry note in the background. And so I do think that that is what happens with this fragrance. So if you're somebody who likes more of the buttery lemon, that buttery pastry accord coming out more, then go ahead and burn it a little bit longer. But I will just say that the extra wick on this makes those fragrance notes come out a little bit quicker than it does in the 2-wick format. That being said, you guys, the performance in terms of strength and throw is a solid 8 on this candle. It does fill up my open concept living room. I do have vaulted ceilings in the living room. I do have in the description box down below the layout of my home in case you're not familiar with it. So that way you can have a comparison to yours, as well as environmental factors, age of my home. All of those things, you guys, can really, really impact how a candle performs in a space. But in terms of strength and throw, for me, this one is a solid 8. It's not overwhelming. I definitely don't have to be like sniffing the air like, oh, what is that? Like, you definitely notice it when you walk into a room, fills up the living room, goes all the way into the kitchen. If I burn it in a closed concept, it's definitely a very, very strong scent. And really more so, you guys, I would say that if you are planning to burn this fragrance in a closed concept, my personal recommendation would be to purchase lemon sugar marshmallow in the 2-wick. You do get a little bit more ounces of wax for your money. The 2-wicks are going to be $34, but those are 22 ounces of wax, whereas I believe these 3-wicks are going to retail for $26, and you get 14 and a half ounces of wax on this one. So again, you're going to be getting more wax, the trade-off, whatever you want to do. But I am just going to say personally, because of what I mentioned about that 3rd wick, possibly bringing out more of that buttery pastry note and kind of overtaking the lemon. If you want to have the lemon really shine through and you have a closed concept, I would probably encourage you to just stick with the 2-wick format. So that was kind of long-winded. I know, I know that, sometimes my reviews can be that way, but I do always strive to be very thorough and give you guys all of the information. So that way, if you have your wish list going for the launch next week, you have some time to go ahead and put that all together. I will make sure at the end of this video that I include my review of Lemon Sugar Marshmallow from 2024. That is in the 2-wick format. So that way, maybe you can have a comparison to this 3-wick. But overall, you guys, I would still give this candle a thumbs up, or 2 thumbs up, honestly. I love the fragrance. If you have open concept, you might want to get the 3-wick because it'll probably perform better. But just know, like I said, that little nuance about, I feel like the fragrance does change a little bit in the 3-wick format. So if you are interested in purchasing this candle or any other candles from the Easter collection, I do have a discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase with them. It is an affiliate code eligible for a commission, so please don't use that if you are not comfortable. And I do thank you for supporting my channel if you do choose to use it. But let me know in the comment box down below if this is a fragrance that you have loved. Are you happy to see it in the 3-wick format? Or are you thinking, no, I really like the packaging on the 2-wick tumblers, and I think I'm going to stick with that one if I want another backup? I would be curious to know. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. Please don't forget to hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful, subscribe if you're new, and until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.